Main technique movements. 长拳 Bow stance. Both leg is half crouch and the tight is close to horizontal level. The other leg keeps straight and the heel should not leave the ground. Empty stance. Crouched leg's thigh is close to horizontal level. Heel should not leave the ground, and the other tiptoe touch the forehead. Couch stance. Full crouched leg's thigh is close to heel. The other leg is almost horizontal to the ground, and the heels should not leave the ground. Toe kick. Keep the supporting leg straight or bend slightly. Point the toe of the other foot and then kick with the toe, snapping the knee out to foot extension. The power of the kick should be expressed through the toe. Side kick. Keep the supporting leg straight or bend slightly. Pull back the toe and turn the foot inwards and snap the key out to foot extension. The power of the kick should be expressed through the sole of the foot. The foot must be above the waist. Back sweep. Raise heel of supporting leg and circle on squat. Sweep on circle. Heel should not leave the ground. Elbow jab. Form a fist and bend elbow with the palm of the hand facing down. When jabbing the elbow forward or sideways, the power of the jab should be expressed through the point of the elbow. 扣腿 balancing movement. Bend the supporting leg to a half squat position. Bend the other knee and pull back toe to tuck behind the knee of the supporting leg. 太极拳 Grasp the bird's tail. 捧 Wandolf. Raise arm to high between chest and lips and keeps it curved. The front knee of the bow stance should not bend over the toe. 溜 Pull back. Pull back both hands in a curve. All weight must shift to the back leg. Keep the torso straight. 挤 Press. Keep both arms rounded while pressing forward. Both forearms should be kept. Pop the horse's mane. When separating hands, keep both arms rounded. The front hand should be between the shoulder and the nose. The front knee of the bow stance should not bend over the toe. Brush knee. Keep the arms rounded while brushing the knee. The hand that is moving forward must pass by the ear on its path. When stepping forward, the toes of the back foot must not touch the ground. Don't bend the knee of the supporting leg too much. The front knee of the bow stance should not bend over the toe. Cloud hand. Use the waist as the axis to move the torso, within the hands also moving in vertical circles in front of the body. The hands should be below the eyebrow. Keep the body at the same level. Jade lady works the shuttle. Keep both arms rounded. The movements of the hand blocking up and the hand pushing forward should be coordinated. The hand pushing forward should be between the wrist and eyebrow. Sink the eyebrow, drop the shoulder, relax the wrist, and tuck in the buttocks. 眼手红锤. Turn the arm inwards. Punch forward from the ribs, at the same time rotating the arm until the palm is facing downwards. The power of the punch should be expressed through knuckles of the fist, but the wrist should be kept loose. Keep the fist between your chest and waist. Repulse monies. Take a slight step backwards. Keep the body at the same level and do not lean left or right. The hand pushing forwards should be between the shoulder and eyebrow. Parry, block, punch. Always keep the eyeball bent, while parrying and blocking the hand should move in a visible circle. The movement of the hands and the turning of the body should be coordinated. Nan Quan. Deer, butterfly stance. Single deer stance. Bend one leg into a squat and place inside of the other knee on the ground. The inside of the foot and the lower leg should be along the ground. Double deer stance. Both knees are pressed together. The inside of both feet and legs should be along the ground. Qilin stance. Two steps are taken diagonally, with one foot crossing over the other. The first step should be short and taken quickly. The second step should be grounded. Neither step should be heavy. Qilong stance. Bend one leg into a squat. Lift the heel and the bent knee of the other leg off the ground. The muscles of the back leg must be obviously clenched. The distance between the two legs must be 2.5 lengths of the competitor's feet. The lower leg of the back leg should be parallel to the floor. 挂盖拳. For 挂拳, the fist shall strike down rapidly. The power of the punch should be expressed through the line of the fist to the back of the fist. For 盖拳, bend the elbow slightly and strike the fist down in an arc motion. The power of the punch should be expressed to the face of the fist. 抛拳. Bend the elbow slightly and strike the fist up in a curved motion. The power of the punch should be expressed through the eye, the spiral made by pointer and thumb of the fist. 横钉腿. Side nail kick. Pull back the toe and kick while extending the leg horizontally across the body. The power of the kick should be expressed through the toe. Tiger claw. Separate the fingers and cut them at the second and third knuckles. Curl the thumb at the second knuckle. The first knuckles of all fingers should be pulled backwards to expose the center of the palm. 滚桥. Extend the arm forward and down while it's turning the forearm inward. The power of the movement should be expressed through the inside of the forearm. Sword. Arm aligned with sword. Force should reach the point of sword. Upward parry. The sword is vertical and from the front moves in vertical circles upwards, backwards or downwards. the movement should be expressed through the middle part of the sword. Uppercut. The sword is vertical and strike forward in arc motion. Power of the movement should be expressed through the front part of the sword. 点 point. Pull the wrist back until the sword is vertical and then strike forward and downward rapidly. The power of the movement should be expressed through the tip of the sword. P. Chop or hack. The sword is vertical and is chopped downwards. The power of the movement should be expressed through the length of the blade. 崩 flick up. Pull the wrist back and flick up the sword rapidly. The power of the movement should be expressed through the tip of the sword. 截 intercept. Block and strike out up or down with the length of the blade. The power of the movement should be expressed through the front section of the blade. 剪万花. Rotate the wrist so that the tip of the sword moves in a figure 8 to side of the body. The power of the movement should be expressed through the tip of the sword. Stance. Bow stance. Couch stance. Empty stance. Broadsword. Broadsword thrust. The broadsword strikes forward straight. The power should be expressed to the point of the broadsword, arm aligned with broadsword. Twining. Point of broadsword points downwards. Back of broadsword moves around the right shoulder from the left shoulder. 254. Wrapping. Point of broadsword points downwards. Back of broadsword moves around the left shoulder from the right shoulder. P. Chop or hack. The broadsword is vertical and is chopped downwards. The power of the movement should be expressed through the length of the blade. 斩. Keep the broadsword horizontal and chop sideways. The blade should be between the shoulder and head. The power of the movement should be expressed through the length of the blade. 挂. Start with the broadsword vertical. Move the broadsword either up and back or down across the body in a circular motion. The blade of the sword should be as close to the body as possible. The power of the movement should be expressed through the spine of the blade. 云. Circle the broadsword vertically either directly above the head or forward from the body above the top of the head. The power of the movement should be expressed through the spine of the blade. 背花. Rotate the wrist so the tip of the sword moves in a figure 8 in front and behind the body. The power of the movement should be expressed through the spine of the blade. Stance. Bow stance. Couch stance. Empty stance. Spear. Parry outward. Spearhead moves in arc motion outwards, not higher than the head nor lower than the crotch. The power of the movement should be expressed to the front part of the spear. Parry inward. Spearhead moves in arc motion inwards. not higher than the head, nor lower than the crotch. The power of the movement should be expressed to the front part of the spear. Spear thrust. Spear thrusted straightly. The power of the movement should be expressed to the point of the spear. The rear hand should touch the front hand. Chuan. Shoot the body of the spear rapidly through the palm of the hand, keeping the spear straight and close to the throat, wrist, or arm. Bung. In a short, sharp flanking action, strike the tip of the spear upward, forward, or downward, causing the tip of the spear to quiver. The tip is moved in either an upward motion or to the left or to the right. The power of the movement should be expressed through the tip of the spear. 点 point. In a short, sharp action, strike the tip of the spear upward, forward, and downward. The power of the movement should be expressed through the tip of the spear. Figure 8. Continuously and quickly spin the spear vertically in a vertical figure 8, while keeping the body of the spear close to the body. 挑把. Sharply strike upward with the bottom of the spear. The power of the movement should be expressed through the bottom end of the spear. Stance. Bow stance, couch stance, and empty stance. Cudgel. Cudgel in horizontal circles. Circle more than 180 degrees leftward or rightward in horizontal plane above chest level. Force should reach the front part of the cudgel. P. Chop. Strike downward with the tip of the cudgel. The power of the movement should be expressed through the front section of the cudgel. 云. Horizontally spin the cudgel one circle, either above the head or in front of the body at head height. The power of the movement should be expressed through the front section of the cudgel. Bung. In a short, sharp flicking action, strike the tip of the cudgel upward, or the left or the right, causing the tip of the cudgel to quiver. The power of the movement should be expressed through the tip of the cudgel. 脚. Vertically rotate the tip of the cudgel or the bottom end of the cudgel clockwise or anti-clockwise. The height of the cudgel should be between the shoulder and the knee. The power of the movement should be expressed through the tip of the cudgel or the bottom end of the cudgel. 戳. Poke the tip or bottom of the cudgel straight forward. The power of the movement should be expressed through the tip of the cudgel or the bottom end of the cudgel. 点 point. In a short, sharp action, strike the tip of the cudgel downwards. The power of the movement should be expressed through the tip of the cudgel. 提撩花. Vertically spin the cudgel quickly clockwise, keeping the cudgel close to both sides of the body. Stance. Bow stance, couch stance, and empty stance. Tai Chi sword. Thrust. Thrust the sword straight out from the body. The arm and edge of the sword should be in line. The power of the movement should be expressed through the tip of the sword. Start with the sword vertical. Move the sword either up and back or down across the body in a circular motion. The blade of the sword should be as close to the body as possible. The power of the movement should be expressed through the front of the sword blade. 撩. Start with the sword vertical. Strike the sword upward in a curve in front of the body. The power of the movement should be expressed through the front of the sword blade. 点 point. Pull the wrist back until the sword is vertical and then strike forward and downward. The power of the movement should be expressed through the tip of the sword. P. Chop or hack. The sword is vertical and is chopped downwards. The power movement should be expressed through the length of the blade. 截 intercept. Block and strike out diagonally up or down with the length of the blade. The power of the movement should be expressed through the front section of the blade. 抹 With the sword horizontal extend out and draw back in a curved action. The sword should be between chest and lower abdomen. The power of the movement should be expressed through the length of the blade. 脚 Starting with sword horizontal and slightly bent elbow, rotate the tip of the sword clockwise or anti-clockwise in a small vertical circles. The power of the movement should be expressed through the front section of the blade. Stance. Bow stance. Couch stance. Empty stance. Non-broadsword. Twinging. Point of broadsword points downwards. Back of broadsword turns around the right shoulder from the left shoulder. Keep head straight. Wrapping. Point of broadsword points downwards. Back of broadsword turns around the left shoulder from right shoulder. Keep head straight. P. Chop or hack. The broadsword is vertical and is chopped downwards. Arm and broadsword should be in line. The power of the movement should be expressed through the length of the blade. 抹 With the broadsword horizontal extend out and draw back in a curved action. The broadsword should be between chest and lower abdomen. The power of the movement should be expressed through the length of the blade. 格 block. Start with the tip of the broadsword facing up or down, block to the left or right. The power of the movement should be expressed through the body of the broadsword. 截 intercept. Block and strike out diagonally up or down with the length of the blade. The power of the movement should be through the front of the blade. 扫 sweep. Start with the blade facing horizontally first to the front, then to the left or right at ankle level. The power of the movement should be expressed through the blade. 1. Rotate the wrist so the tip of the broadsword moves in a figure 8 closely on both sides of the body. The blunt side and the blade of the broadsword should be distinguished clearly. Stance. Bow stance. Couch stance. Empty stance. Non-cudgel. P. Chop. Both hands hold the cudgel and strike downward with the cudgel. The power of the movement should be expressed through the front section of the cudgel. Bung. Start with both hands holding the cudgel. With the elbow bent, put the back hands down and push the front hand forward in a short, sharp flicking action in order to strike the tip of the cudgel upward or the left or the right, causing the tip of the cudgel to quiver. The power of the movement should be expressed through the tip of the cudgel. Jiao. Vertically rotate the tip of the cudgel or the bottom end of the cudgel clockwise or anti-clockwise. The height of the cudgel should be between the shoulder and the knee. The power of the movement should be expressed through the tip of the cudgel or the bottom end of the cudgel. 滚压. Start with both hands holding the base of the cudgel. While turning the front arm outward, put the cudgel sharply toward the body to press on the thigh. Both palms should be facing up. The power of the movement should be expressed through the front part of the cudgel. 格. Keep the cudgel vertical in front of the body horizontally blocked to the left or right. The power of the movement should be expressed through the body of the cudgel. G. Strike. Start with both hands holding the cudgel. Strike horizontally to the left or to the right with the tip or the bottom end of the cudgel. The power of the movement should be expressed through the end of the cudgel. 顶. Start with both hands holding the cudgel. Push the cudgel out in an upward movement with the tip of the cudgel. The bottom end of the cudgel should touch the floor. The power of the movement should be expressed through the tip of the cudgel. 抛. Start with both hands holding the cudgel. Strike up with two hands exerting power at the same time. The power of the movement should be expressed through the tip of the cudgel. Stance. Bow stance. Couch stance. Empty stance.